Welcome back, everybody. This is for Loki versus a Asian alliance. I believe they're legends, something like that. But they banned CGR, Herc, Torch, and we have APOC and Doom banned as well. So first fight, we have Omega Sentinel, White Magneto, and Professor X. I will be taking this iHulk on path 5. This is the debuff immune on knockdown, ebb and flow knockdown, and force of will. So with this, I didn't use a White Magneto because my thought process was to throw a recoil tree on and just keep the heal block on, because he'll go debuff immune. So it shouldn't be like the Kangaroo fight where he has that regen and it interacts with Conduit and he regens a lot. You can see with my Fury up, I do about 30% with that up. So I went back to just the original strategy that I had, which was just heal block and then kind of chip him down. It's going to be a long fight, but it's ultimately safe. I did want to throw an SP3 because it does not trigger knockdown with protection. So I was wondering if he would go debuff immune, and he did. So at this point, I'm just kind of going through the fight, and I'm like, all right, just kind of chip away at him. And again, this is I'm seeing Conduit defenders on path 5 more and more, even though the node purifies the debuff sometimes. So kind of testing some stuff out. On hindsight, I should have just knocked him down, and then when he got close to about 10%, just stayed in heal block mode with the heavies and been fine that way. But that strategy to be more effective or more efficient, I should say, the White Magneto pre-fight would need to be applied. And in the grand scheme of things, I should have done that. But you'll see, I had enough pre-fights for everything that I was assigned. I did end up giving a few extra ones for our fights, but it's fine. So I throw that SP3, and obviously he goes debuff immune. I'm like, okay, so about halfway through, and he's at 40%. So I'm definitely not in fear of a timeout here. But he does get a little stingy with his special one here, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Just waiting for him to throw this. And I believe I end up pushing him to an SP2 a couple times, which is, again, fine. Right here, I'm like, okay, just end up doing some damage. Reaching the halfway point, he's at 30%. Keep in mind that first opening Fury did about 30% damage, so I'm not going to be getting that. So here, I'm like, okay, perfect, 25%. Just got to keep this heal block on. It has to stay on for when his immortality runs out. So that's like the most important thing. I need it to be on for when that's about to run out. And here, I don't pause it. Wanted to throw that SP1. Here, I'm going to pause. Oh, no, I'll throw another one. I think I'm going to pause this one. Yeah. So I'm going to pause this again. I'm like, okay, I'll pause this again. And he throws this. And I should have actually... Okay, perfect. Actually, I paused that. And I think that was enough. I ended up taking that. Oh, thank God for her armor ups, because that could have been bad. But he's ultimately down. He doesn't regen. The next fight, I have Mordo. So here the plan is to... I involved an SP3 boosted for this. I have the recoil tree up, so I'm gonna hit him pretty hard. And the plan is just to have also White Magneto so I can parry without him evading. And the plan is to keep him heal blocked. Just keep him heal blocked. Don't heavy. Obviously, he has heavy unstoppable here, so just keep the heal block on him, and preferably try to hit him in the middle of my combo with his power when his power king comes up, and then just bait some specials. So he throws it here, and if the power gain doesn't line up with my combo to where I can remove it, then I'm just going to wait out his power gain. If he throws an SP3, then he throws an SP3. It does not matter to me. I just want to keep him heal blocked, essentially. And you can see about a minute into the fight, he's he's almost halfway. Here I'm just waiting this out. I'm like, okay, this doesn't matter. Just throws this special 2, would be ideal. And he does. Perfect timing, so I can hit him and remove the power gain. He'll block him again. He'll block him again. And he throws that SB1. Middle of the combo, so everything's going pretty smoothly. And here I want to bait this. And I probably should have baited that SB1 after that parry, but I'm just going to hold. This is weird. I'm just going to let him go to SB3, not even hit him. And just, you know, I'm going to tank this with an invul. And he's at 30%. And I'm like, okay. I was nervous about this fight because I wasn't sure how it would play out. But obviously heavy unstoppable. He's gaining regen. I need to heal block him because he has an incinerate up. From when he hit me with the SB3, it'll automatically incinerate him. So he regens some of that, and I'm like, okay, still good. Need to keep a heal block on, and I'm gonna pause it after this if I can. So he actually throws that SB2 in the middle of his power game, which is weird. So it caught me. Could have been bad, but at this point, it looks like we're doing well. He's under 10%, and he's going down. So hit into his block and he's dead, so that worked out. And next we have Hitmonkey. Wags is bleed immune. I'm running my mutant boost for a sassy fight later, which also helps White Magneto. And just the plan is to basically parry heavy, get the fury up, parry medium, light, medium into, you know, while he's stunned so he doesn't evade, and just control the spacing. It's not heavy unstoppable, so I can't get cornered. If he throws a heavy, it's fine. And obviously, you know, if I happen to get caught, I'm bleed immune, so that's huge. Because I debated. I didn't have to place a Wags here. Someone did it for me, so I debated on using Professor X and getting my my charges ramped up, because I would get one from the win and then another one from the Omega Sentinel synergy. So that would have been very helpful for later on. And with Professor X, it's actually a little bit easier because I can parry heavy, then I can parry and then just regular combo into him, which essentially he can't evade me, so it's really ideal. But if I do get caught, I need to run max coagulate because the bleeds will obviously hurt. So I just went with Wags to get the extra pre-fights. Although I didn't need them, so in hindsight I should have gone. If I saved the one on I-Hulk, I should have just gone Professor X here. But you see one SP3 with the Fury up, gets him down quite a bit, and here I'm just like, okay, he's gonna heavy, and he's basically dead, so I'm a heavy again, and he's down. So that was just, you know, slight slip up, but it's okay. And I'm taking, we were gonna Quake this, but when it opened up, I've taken this before, and I just wanted to get my fights over with, so sorry, Mad Cat. I took this from you, but ultimately, the plan here, I'm still running recoil, but I'm only running recoil off of the bleed side. So here, the plan is just a 4-hit combo, and beta heavy, and then just hold. I'm running an invul, but I shouldn't have done that because I was not going to tank an SB3 here. I wanted to bait his SB2 and take it into the block and see how much damage it did, which is basically nothing. So if I take this again, I'm not wasting an invulnerability boost here, which I ultimately think I can actually tank. But what happens when I tank an SB3 from Bishop is I will incinerate him, which will give him prowess, which is not what I want. He ends up throwing this SB1 even after I hold block, and I'm like, ah, man. So get an incinerate on me. It's sticking for, you know, substantial amount. I'm like, okay, I just need to wait this out. Wait it out, and I do. I'm like, all right, perfect. Let's go back to this. I do have 3 points in collar tech and max petrify, so I prefer to hit him when stunned. But otherwise, just gonna hold block, and he's basically dead right here. So that went well. And next, I have this kitty fight. I've taken this before. I'm not looking for the intercept if I don't have to. I'm ultimately just going to SB3 and let the SB3 tick her down with the plasmas because she's a mutant, so I'm not incinerating her. And keep the cowardice up so she can remove the prowess, so I can parry at will and not worry about that. So You can see just off of one combo she's down about 10%. And then the only bad thing here is that for each debuff that I'm stacking on her, she's gaining I think 50% attack increase or something like that. So once I get the incinerates up, it does do damage. So because she gains no prowess, I do push her to an SP2, so she can clear them, so I can clear her power and not take the SP1 into the block. And so here's the SP3. You can throw this. This is just a much slower way to play Omega Sentinel on this node. Ultimately, I can just keep the debuffs paused, and they don't purify after the protection goes down. And that's just what I want to do. I don't know what I did there, but her auto block freaking saved me and gave me another incinerate. So I just dashed in a little bit too early, and I was actually telling myself not to dash in too early for that. So that could have been just bad. But you see that SB1 definitely hurt into the block, but she's ultimately down. Now we have Sassy. I've taken this lots of times with Professor X, and I've taken it with usually at least 2 charges, if not 3 or max. And I could have got a charge on Kitty. That's ultimately what I should have done as well. But here, the plan is the PS1 very heavy, built SB3, heavy charge into it when the protection's down, and spam SB3s. But I was afraid that I was not going to do enough damage to get to another SB3. And as the fight is going on, it's going perfectly fine. I'm getting I have a white Magneto pre-fight here, so I get that long stun so I can charge. I have him in that spot where I want him, so I'm gonna okay, I just have to get an intercept, and I do right away. A heavy charge, and I'm like, okay, I have a feeling I'm gonna get to an SP2 and not an SP3 even with my power back. I'm running 200% and 12% mutant boost, and I'm just not doing enough damage right here for a high health Sassy. So I throw this and it just misses completely. So I throw another one. Keep in mind, I'm running like max recoil for extra damage, and I'm just not getting enough power. So I'm like, I'm using Wrath right now. I should have thrown that SP3, but I'm like, I gotta wait this out. So my thought is like, okay, I gotta wait this out and like reset. I still have 2 bars of power. So I'm almost full. I just got to get over 50 charges and have 3 prowess. So I waited out here. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna back him up. He throws this. I vex it. I need to get a parry, and I get one. Okay, perfect. I'm at 34 charges. And then I falter, and I'm like, it's wasting time. So at this point, I'm starting to worry that my prowess will fall off and beat his MD. So I need him to throw a special before I do anything. And I'm like, I'm gonna get an intercept and just go for it. I'm over 50 charges, so I initiate mind control and I throw the SB 3, and I'm like, okay, he'll be mind control for a bit. I'm gonna get some prowess. I still had 1, I think, before it dropped off, and then I may be able to do it, but this one actually kills him, so got out of that alive. And the next fight is Nova, and most people throw a red Magneto at Nova to deal with his auto block. But I personally like white Magneto. Obviously, I get the benefits of placing white mags pre-fights elsewhere, and he reduces power combat rate versus metal, which helps with this guy's energize buff when he gets it. And he will ultimately shut off the protection node. So the thought process is just to stay as close as possible to him and try to get a parry, off of a light attack. And I'm still running my mutant boost. I did want to throw my SB1 when I got it, but I was like, I'm just gonna throw that SB2 so I can get some power back, and I get an intercept there. And the node is still up, so I'm like, all right, perfect. That's gonna run into my SB2, and I'm just gonna take his SB2 into the block. Did basically nothing, so I'm like, all right, perfect. And I'm like, all right, go back in there, and I'm gonna throw this SB2, and it should be all she wrote. And that was my war. We did end up winning this war. Shout out to the MVPs, Karate Mike, B Manny, and Andrew. It was close at first, then we kind of pulled away, but Oh, it wasn't Legends. They're called Old Driver. I'm sorry, but GG's to you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.